Good morning, everybody. Silas back again today. Today is day number 2 of this farm cleanup. Now, actually, I'm coming back and recording this after I recorded everything else. It's not the same day anymore. But I wanted to come back and explain at the beginning of this video what exactly was going on this day. This is the day that really bad storm rolled through the area, and we were experiencing winds of 50 to 70 miles an hour in the morning. And in the afternoon, I believe the highest clocked wind speed here in Kansas anyway was 117 miles an hour, I believe. Where I was working at, most of the wind was between 70 and 80 miles an hour, with occasional gusts getting closer to 100 miles an hour. It was a crazy day. I believe we ended up losing 2 roofs out of the deal, and a lot of other people lost stuff, and there was a lot of damage. A lot of trees got knocked out. It was a bad day around here. And I know much of the country got that same storm, and there was a lot of damage. It was a gigantic line, squall line that ran all the way down through the country. And it was a pretty crazy day. I've never seen anything like that. But I said all that to say this: when you're recording in 70 to 80 to 90 mile an hour winds, it's very difficult to get good quality audio. Even with my high quality mic that I have, I had a really hard time getting the audio quality to come out good. So as you're watching this vlog, please excuse some of the sections that the wind is kind of jarbling the audio up a little bit. I had 2 choices. I could either not film at all, or I could do the best I could with what I had. And when I started this farm cleanup, I decided I was going to film every day no matter what the weather was like. And so I went ahead and recorded it anyway. And so just please excuse some of the audio. Now let's get to it, and I hope you enjoy.
We made it out here. Nobody else is here yet, just me and Harlan so far. Sean and Jason should be here soon, and I'm not sure if Skylar's gonna make it or not. He was having some trailer troubles. It is super windy out here today. Can't really see it with these trees because there's no leaves on them. But it's extremely windy out here in this field, and it's only supposed to get windier, so I'm not gonna haul a whole lot home today probably. I'll probably just work on loading the iron box, and if we get it filled, then I'll see about hauling some of this stuff home, but I really don't want to do that in this wind.
Making progress. Doing some tree work now. It is so windy out here. Unbelievably windy. There is way more junk out here than I thought there was originally. Back in the trees is just solid junk all through the trees. So I thought I could get this done in 2 dumpsters, but it's probably going to take me at least 3, maybe even 4, depending on how much I haul home on my trailer. Every time I go back in the trees, I find more junk that I didn't know was there. Every single time. But the family did decide to go ahead and let the old Chevy truck go. I think it's about a 50 model, somewhere around there, 49, 50. They decided to go ahead and let it go. It's pretty rough, but it is all there, and it is a short bed, half ton, 3-speed on the column. So we're going to try to be careful getting it out of there so we don't tear it up too bad. There we go, made those a little bit flatter.
Oh no. Watch that chain, make sure you don't slip off and get somebody.
Got Skylar loaded up. Tried to get that baler on there, but it wouldn't quite fit. Fell off his trailer, and it was an absolute nightmare to get it back off of there. So I just got it off, threw a few pieces of farm equipment on there. Nothing too crazy. Normally I would put more on there, but right now we have 70 mile an hour wind. So I don't want him to be dangerous going back to town. He's getting it all strapped down. I tell you what, it is just a hurricane out here. It looks like these leaves and dirt are in fast motion, but they're not. That's just the wind blowing that hard. Look at that grass over there. Just going crazy. They've been... all this loose sand like this just blows, and your eyes are full of it, my ears are full of it, my nose is full of it. It's a miserable day, that's for sure. They actually canceled a bunch of schools because of the wind. This is the sort of wind that school buses blow over on their side. They've had several semis blow over on their side on the highway. This is not a day to be working, but it is what it is. I've got help today, and I may not have help tomorrow, so I'm taking advantage of it. Slowly making progress. Picking up this iron. Got 3 more cars back here. I don't think we're going to get to those today. I'm hoping to get this truck out of here today, though, and take it home with me. That's the game plan. So we're going to pick up this last little bit of iron in this area, and we can hopefully get it out of here. Is we're going to set these tires on my trailer. We're going to put one of those underneath each one of these tires on this truck, kind of like I do when I'm hauling crushed cars. That way it keeps the truck up a little bit higher so I can get out from underneath it without crushing the running boards. It's kind of neat seeing this old truck leaving the farm. You can see all the farm ground out in the background. I wish that roof wasn't crunched like it is, but that's okay. Perfect. Plenty of clearance, that way I can get it back off the trailer without hurting anything. Truck now that I have it out of the trees. With wind like this, you can see how back in the day, back in the 20s and 30s, before all these trees were out here, this is just open ground. And farmers would plow their land, the grass would dry out, that sort of stuff. Whenever there was a drought, this wind would whip through there. That's when the dust bowl was around. My grandma was always talking about that when she was a little girl, and you'd have to put wet rags over your windows. I can't imagine. It's bad enough out here now with the trees. I can't imagine without the trees. There is just junk hiding everywhere. I've said this several times now, but man, every single time we come back in here, we find more junk back in the trees. There was an old buzzsaw blade laying down here we found. Some of the stuff is way down in there, so we gotta put chains onto it to drag it out. that is.
Oh, wow. 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 Look, I'm barely hooked.
Never-ending junk. Just drug this out of there. I'm not entirely sure what this is, but I'm thinking that buzzsaw might have been attached to this. There's still quite a bit in this area here. All through here. We probably won't get to all this today, but we can at least get, maybe we'll get one more car out yet today. I'm not sure yet. That there's an old Mustang front end 5-lug. So it was a V8 car, and I swapped it over to a 6-cylinder. Now I'm going to smash it in the iron box. What's in this car? There must be something in the trunk because it's heavy. Of course, it's just a heavy car. There's an old Model A or Model T fender or something like that up here. A bunch of other iron that we stuffed in this tub. But I don't know how much longer we're going to be able to work because it is getting dark out here. It's hard to tell with this phone because it auto adjusts to the light, so it makes it look lighter than it actually is. But I felt a few raindrops, so I think we're in for a storm. Which, that won't stop me from working, but if it gets too muddy, then I'll have to stop or else I'll tear up the ground. I don't like tearing up people's places. I try to respect their property. Even before I take out tree branches like I did here, I always ask permission, just because I don't ever want to do something that makes somebody upset, get a bad reputation that way. They said I could do any tree work I wanted to out here, but they didn't say I could make gigantic ruts across their yard. I didn't even ask that, but I would never consider doing that to someone. Skylar's back for one more load. Look at that. Where it turns to gray right there, that's rain coming right for us. It's about to flat pour. there's a mega storm coming. The wind just blowing like crazy out of nowhere, and it's about to start pouring down rain. It's gonna get crazy out here, folks. Woo. I could barely get my door closed. The wind was blowing against it so hard. That's crazy. That wind is gusting. They're saying we're getting gusts over 80 miles an hour right now. That's a storm and a half right there for you. Crazy to think that this is almost Christmas and we're getting thunderstorms.
Big truck brings everything in too.
I wish I could give you guys a scale of just how hard that wind is blowing out here. I haven't been able to catch one yet. These trees keep losing limbs and they keep coming crashing down to the ground. There's one right there that just snapped off of this tree here. That whole branch fell down. A little bit paranoid to go back in the trees and work anymore, but it's so dusty outside that the sun's almost blacked out. You can see it shining through the dust and the haze, but you can look at it without it hurting your eyes. That's how blocked out it is. It's like wearing sunglasses, natural sunglasses. But man, it is just crazy out here. There's a bunch more limbs fell out back. It's gusting almost 100 miles an hour every now and then, but most of the gusts are around 70 to 80 miles an hour. And this dumpster is full. I tried to put a bunch of heavy stuff up on top. That way nothing will blow out on the way back. Because he's gonna have to haul this home in this wind. There should be quite a bit of weight in there. Came in here to get out of the wind. Saw this old corn husker in here. Corn King Sandwich Manufacturing. Just taking a little bit of time getting out of the wind. Checking out what we got ahead of us yet. A couple old buggy seats in here. Old John Deere 140. This big old industrial stove. The shelving doesn't go. Bunches of scrap metal in here. Up in the rafters is a super old tricycle. That's pretty cool. That tree over there, I thought it was about to snap in half. Whew. I was parked under that branch and it was flexing, so I backed up real quick, and just as I backed up, it broke and fell. But this is absolutely insane. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. So I think we're done for the day. I've seen tornadoes, I've seen microbursts, I've seen a lot of crazy stuff, but to have winds this strong for this many hours straight is just unreal. Craziness. I had one branch fall and hit the ground and bounce up and stab me in the legs, and now my leg's bleeding, so yeah, I'm definitely done. I'm not doing this anymore today. I got stuck in the sand, but luckily Sean was still here, so he was able to pull me out. But just look at that dust blowing. Look at this road. The road, all the blow sand is completely washed off the road, where it's just the hard base now. I mean, we're in Kansas, so it's always windy here. But it's not this windy. This is some next level stuff here. Farmer's bales blew over. Man, it's so hazy. You can only see about a mile in the distance. Kind of taking the back road home. Number one, because I can't really drive that fast in this wind, but also, I'll show you guys this place. We'll drive by real quick. We've got to clean this one up as well. There's a bunch of junk in here. It's mostly just scrap iron here though. Check out this guy. What you doing? You enjoying this weather? And there's the rest of the herd out there. It's getting even worse. You can actually look out there in that field, and what looks like clouds is solid dust. This place is kind of neat. Another Amish house. We're getting closer to Amish territory again now. This is crazy. It's almost like it's apocalyptic. The sun is literally gone. You can't see the sun at all anymore. The sun's right over there somewhere, but you can't see it. And it's way darker than it looks on my phone. It's kind of like an orangish, grayish haze over everything. Craziness. I just can't get over this. Unreal. Still daytime, and it's looking like it's almost nighttime. I guess this is kind of what they went through back in the Dust Bowl, as they would do this in the middle of the day. The sky would just disappear and turn to this haze. It's getting worse and worse too, is the crazy part. It's supposed to do this for another 4 or 5 hours, they say. Fine, but I just passed a bunch of telephone poles that are snapped off and they're hanging by the wires, so I'm sure a whole bunch of people just lost power. And I just got back to my place, and it looks like I lost the roof on this building. It's blown off about half the roof, so that's lovely. I just rented this too. Okay, I got out here to my place and I assessed all the damage, and the roof on this one isn't quite as bad as I thought it was. Once I actually got in here and checked it out, it blew off a little bit of it, but not all of it. So I think it's repairable. Not nearly as bad as I thought it was. And actually I went out back and there's a few trees down, but I don't really see any other significant damage. So I don't think the wind is quite as strong back here at home as it was out west. But I am absolutely filthy. My skin literally hurts from all the sand that I've been getting sandblasted with all afternoon. So I'm done. I'm gonna go take a shower, edit some video, and then I wanna go to bed because today was way too stressful for me. I had a lot of fun today. But man, this is like a vision of the apocalypse out here. This is just nuts. It's just now starting to die down finally. It's down to around 50 miles an hour. But I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did enjoy this one, please leave me a thumbs up. Make getting sandblasted and avoiding fallen tree limbs worth it. No, but for real, I really appreciate all the support you guys give me. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. And remember to get out there and find an adventure. We'll see you next time.